Well, yeah, I think that's the perception we get here in England. I was told today that the deal is very much on. Liverpool are ready to put another offer. We know that the first offer of £110 million was rejected by Newcastle, who won at least £130 million, which would obviously smash the record of highest transfer fee for a player in the Premier League. They are, I think, waiting for Newcastle to open the door a bit more. Newcastle are also looking for a second striker, whether that's Wissa. They still are quite keen, I think, on Wissa. It won't be Strand Larsen, who's too similar of a profile than Voltemade, as Ali just explained. Similar kind of player, certainly in terms of size. So Wissa potentially, but for Isak, who is ready and waiting to go to Liverpool, I think it makes him closer to Liverpool than certainly it was 2 days ago before Voltemade was signed.
We were starting to think it might not happen, Stevie, and it looks like it could. Alexander Isak to Liverpool.
Yeah, and the key being Voltemade. I mean, that really busted the door open. And it's interesting that Voltemade is kind of going to be in the situation that Isak was in when he came. You know, we didn't know that much about him. He'd played for Sweden. We knew he had potential. And he got a season to bed in at Newcastle without too much pressure on him. And Liverpool are going to buy the finished article. So I hope Newcastle fans give Voltemade a little bit of time, because it's going to take time. And if they do, the guy's got all the potential in the world. He can do pretty much everything. Now he's got to try and do it at the highest level over a period of time.
Let me follow up, because they were talking about it yesterday. If Isak is to come in, what happens with Ekitike?
I have no idea. I have no idea. This is what top-class management is about. Because not only are we talking about a guy in Ekitike who could not have started any better for Liverpool. And if you're Ekitike, you're looking over your shoulder now, which is going to be tough. It's not, that's going to be a strange situation when Alexander, if he does, Isak walks in the dressing room and it's pleased to meet you. Ekitiki's going to be shaking his head, and then everybody else, apart from probably Salah, is going to think, well, hold on a minute, is this going to affect me? So this is going to be down to Arne Slot, how he handles the players.
It's the old dominoes, by the way, because Isak is going to have to play.
Yep.
And so what happens with Ekitike? What happens with Cody Gakpo? What happens with Florian Wirtz? Because that's a decision that still needs to be figured out. What happens with Florian Wirtz? Do you change formation? Do you change the way that you approach the game? Do you change where players come from? And somebody's going to have to be sacrificed. And where do you start? Well, you're not going to start with Isak because you're making this big investment in the player. Florian Wirtz, I don't think you're going to sacrifice either, because you've already made that big investment. And so then you start looking at the players that actually have won a league title for you, and you're saying to Cody Gakpo, yeah, I don't think so. It's, to Stevie's point, this is managing. It's a great problem to have, mind you. It's a great problem to have. But this is where you, if you're Arne Slot, this is when you need to figure out, how do these pieces all fit together, and how do we manage to win games consistently?
How do you see it, Jules?
Yeah, I think Ekitike can play on the left-hand side. We discussed that before with the guys when Isak was, already talked about and Ekitike had already signed. I wonder if Liverpool could go back, if they would wait a little bit more to sign Ekitike. This seems to be very quick and happened the first time they got in touch with Newcastle for Isak, and Newcastle closed the door, so even before the first offer. And you do wonder if they'd waited a little bit more, maybe they could have made the Isak signing and then maybe later Ekitike or maybe somebody else. But it doesn't matter so much now, because I think Isak will come. There's not much time left in the transfer window, but he will come, and then the pressure will be on Slot to find, the right team and fit the right pieces of this jigsaw. Remember last summer he arrived, there was no new coming, no new signings. He just basically had a team that he tweaked a few things. He was amazing in his management and tactically as well, but there was nobody to integrate. This time it's Frimpong and it's Kerkers and it's Wirtz and it's Ekitike and it's Isak, and that's obviously a very different squad and preparation to games than what he had last season, when he had the same squad that Klopp had pretty much, apart from Chiesa, and didn't have too much to do in terms of changing and tweaking and integrating and for players to adapt to him. or him to adapt to the players, sorry. This is very different, but there's pressure, but that's normal, it's Liverpool.
But if he gets it right, and I know finding the pieces and how they all fit together, but if they fit together, this is a better team than the one that won the league last year. If the pieces fit together, and that's a big if.
It's an interesting choice of words, that. This is a better team.
Well,
because sometimes it doesn't work that way. You might have better individuals. You can definitely say, signing Havertz, you sign Isak, Ekitike, you've got better individuals. And that is the key that Arne Slot has to try and open the door to make them a better team. Because right now, they're not a better team than the one that won the Premier League last year.
That's why I say if
yeah.
the pieces
And
fit
obviously
together.
a big point that Stevie has made is that he would have liked to have seen Liverpool strengthen defensively, which moves us on to our next subject of Mark Guéhi, because obviously he's at Crystal Palace. Oliver Glasner's been asked about his future, and he said, from my side, it's now Friday and the window closes on Monday. He has to stay. Getting the right replacement in now, I think, is almost impossible. What's the situation here then, Jules?
It's a good try from Oliver Glasner, and you know, we respect it.
Yeah.
We respect him for it. But one, he doesn't decide. It's not him. We know the situation contractually for Mark Guéhi is that he's out of contract in next summer, in June 2026. He's not going to extend his contract. So for Crystal Palace, and Steve Parish, the chairman, and one of the owners has explained it already very well. They can't afford, a club like Palace cannot afford to let Mark Guéhi, a 40/50 million pound player, go on a free. Just for clubs like them, it doesn't work like this. So it's either they let him go now or he extends his deal, which we know he's not going to do. That's why they are looking to let him go. That's why they want Liverpool to make another offer. I'm being told again that the two clubs are still very much in touch, that Crystal Palace has a short list with potential players they can sign to replace Mark Guéhi, like Joe Monday, for example, and others that they've been following for a long time. I know there's not much time left between tonight as we do the show and Monday night, just 48 hours, well, a bit more 3 days, sorry, but still there's enough time there for Guéhi to go to Liverpool, for Isak to go to Liverpool, and for Newcastle and Crystal Palace to find replacement for them both.
If Crystal Palace don't have somebody targeted, waiting in the wings for them to make a bid on, the sporting director needs to get sacked. 100%. They had to be, Crystal Palace had to be, have to put themselves in a position where if at the last breath Guéhi went, then they've got somebody ready. And as I said, if they haven't, somebody needs the bullet.
On the other side of this, though, this is what you've been saying Liverpool really need. And it could be crucial in terms of their title challenge if they don't have the right defender in place to strengthen that backline this season.
Listen, one of the greatest managers of all time said that Alex Ferguson, you know, you start from the back and you win by defending. I mean, and right now, Liverpool have been getting away with outscoring the opposition. And you can't win a Premier League title by doing that week in and week out. Eventually, it catches up with you. And Liverpool right now are in a position where they have to strengthen defensively. Because if they don't, then I don't see how anybody could put them down as favourites. Certainly the way they've started defensively.
A few more days to go, and we will find out. You can keep up to date with all the latest transfer talk over on our website. Transfer Talk is there on ESPN.com. ESPN FC is presented by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming. This is a look ahead to the Sunday showdown in the Premier League. It is Liverpool taking on Arsenal at Anfield. It's last year's Premier League winners against last year's runners-up. Ahead of it, we got to hear from the coaches Arne Slot and Mikel Arteta.
A very important one, obviously, and you want to continue building the momentum that we are in right now, and going to those grounds, those stadiums against this kind of opposition is what we want, and come from those big games winning in a really convincing way. That's the objective.
One thing that stands out in the season till now, and what stands out in a negative way for us, is that we've conceded, if I include the Bilbao game, 4 set pieces. And of course, as we all know, that's one of their strengths, not the strength, but one of their strengths, because they can play in multiple ways. You can see how well they are managed by Miguel, and they're working for 5 years together because they can play almost every style there is in football, and that tells you how well managed they are.
Frank Lebuffin's joining us now. Jules is still with us, talking about vulnerability from set pieces. I wonder if that's why Stevie Nichol's gone for a draw in this game, 2-2.
Yeah, I'll take a draw right now.
Why is it a draw at Anfield?
Well, because Liverpool can't keep a clean sheet to save their life, and I'll be shocked if all of a sudden somebody waves a magic wand and all the problems are fixed. I'll just be shocked. And this Liverpool side have shown that in the 3 games, including the Charity Shield, when they're not anywhere close to what we think they can be, they scored 9 goals without playing well as a team. So you give Liverpool a sniff and they'll take their opportunities, but I can't see Liverpool keeping a clean sheet. And I know Arsenal haven't. I mean, I think Mikel Arteta was playing for the last Arsenal team that won at Anfield, but I'm not feeling confident at all.
And you're not, and everybody else has pretty much gone for a draw by one person, and that would be Ali Moraine.
Oh, well.
Ali, you've gone for a Liverpool win. Tell us